What's up guys, in today's video we are going to take a look at the HCI practical in which you have to design a GUI in Python. So I'll just run a mock GUI. See, my setup over here is something like this. I have in my Vim I have my file editor, and in the adjoining terminal I have my Python virtual environment where I've installed pip install custom TKinter. Right, so for me this is already satisfied. Then for our particular project we'll also need pip install pillow. So pillow is something which is used for image, image operations. So anything that has to do with images is automatically handled by pillow in Python, and for creating the GUI we use this TKinter. I'll just show you a demo of how it's supposed to look like. So converter.py, see, this is how it looks like. Invert image, you select the source image and the destination image, and then you can invert the image. So basically it converts the black and white to white and black, reverses the colors. Also, what I've noticed is some people having difficulty in focusing during the video, so that's why I actually went ahead and set up a subway surface video on the right hand side. So in case you get distracted, the background is transparent, you can see through it. You see that if you get bored or something. That's really funny though. This is actually suggested to me by a friend. It's a very funny idea, I think, but let's see how it goes. The very first thing you do is you will import your packages. So first you'll import image, from pill you should import image ops, right? So these two things you need to import from pillow. Then you need to import custom TKinter. So import custom TKinter as. So the main use of custom TKinter, guys, is just to sort of add a little bit of a good flavor or theme in your builds. It's TKinter library only, but the certain properties are already pre-configured, and it just reduces your code. You don't need to write as many lines as you would have with just simple TKinter. So we'll import TKinter now, TKinter as TK, and import from TKinter, import TTK, which we will be using for stuff like label frames and whatnot. Right, so I'll just give you a quick demo. So this is our root. Root is like the first and foremost, like our basic window. The module TK dot TK. This is the class. We'll have to do root dot main loop. We'll put a title over there, root dot title. That title needs to say invert image, or you can put whatever title you want. Obviously my goal is just to tell you like the basics. Root dot min size. So what min size does is it will just give your application like a minimum size. There's actually a size function as well in this, which will directly determine the size of the window, but I don't want to do that since that will not make this interactive or dynamic. It will just be like one fixed size, and then you'll have to manually adjust it. If you do this min size, it will expand according to your widgets. I've written this. Now I'll go over here and Python, and the name is img invert. So img invert dot py. Yeah, so from pill, I forgot to write import over here. Pill dot image ops. So this will work now. Yeah. So now this is like the width which it is coming at. See, I can again full screen mode this. Oh, sorry, I interrupted your subway server stream. But you can do this in full screen mode. You can minimize it and whatnot. These are this is like just the basics though. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to get the subway surfers out of the way. I am sorry to whoever is actually watching this subway surfers thing for their focus. I can't deal with it. It makes me sick. Right, so now that we've just seen the basics, I'll maybe refine this to make it 300 and 400 so that, yeah, I think this is a much better, what do you say, aspect ratio to work with, 3:4. And yeah, I think this will be a good size for our project to come through. So how I'm planning to work this out is, this is going to be where we select our files in the upper side. Then we select the destination file of the inverted image, and then we give a button to convert it. Right, I'll just first of all I'll like try to make a label frame over here. So what you do for that is root. You can name it whatever you want. You can do ttk dot label frame, and over here let's just say master. This master argument will reference its parent. For us, the parent of this is going to be the root. The frame is going to lie above the root, so the parent is going to be the root. Hence I've written master as root. So what does the label frame say? Invert image. What this is going to do is it will allow the frame to expand along with the length and width of the length and height of the widget. And fill means that it will fill all the free space, but we don't want it to like be literally attached to the border. So we'll do some padding over here. So you can add padding using pad x and pad y. Start putting in the content between these two. So label frame root and label frame root dot pack. The thing is, what pack actually does is the Python interpreter will draw the widget, that is the label frame root, as it is, right? So you have to do all the necessary configurations or features inside that label frame before you pack it. I hope that makes sense. I'll add some features or widgets which will go inside this label frame. So for example, I'll have to put a label, right? It's label, input label, because we are going to accept the input from the user here. So input label is going to be ttk.label. See, there's a label over here. Then master, this master is going to be label frame root, because this label is going to lie within that label frame widget. Over here we'll say text. So this is the text. So we'll do select source image. Then after that dot pack, you can do input label dot pack like we've done for label frame as well, or you can just do a pack over here. Right, I'll just do a pad y over here. So pad y, say 10. Right, then input label. Now we need an entry as a text field, so that we can input. We can do ttk dot entry. It's called an entry because you enter text inside of it. I personally prefer custom TKinter's entry because it's a little bit more visually pleasing. So let's go with that. CTK entry, add a master which is going to say label frame root, right? So we'll just do that, and yeah, so this is how it's looking right now, where this is our label frame which goes all the way up and around. This is our select source image label, and this is our entry. You can type stuff inside of it. You can see for yourself which one looks better. So this is how the TTK entry one looks like. It's very plain in my opinion, which is why I'm going to use custom TKinter. So let's save this and let's just check how it looks. Because it's a little bit bigger. It's bigger than the select source image now. Input button equals ttk dot button. Then we'll do master equals label frame root. Then see command करके एक है. So command is the function which your input dot button is going to call. Right now what I'll do is I'll just go over here and we'll declare a variable. Okay, so we'll say input file path equals tk dot string var. So what a string var is, guys, it's basically a variable which controls what stuff is going in and coming out of a CTK entry or an entry basically. So if I go over here and I type text variable, also yeah, the reason why I wasn't like not very intent on using CTK first, text variable, yeah, and then you can put in the text variable the name of the string variable which is over here. So that will be input file path. I'll just change this back to CTK. We'll just copy this whole thing. Guys, programming is like not really that hard. Copy pasting is where the real hard work is, okay? You know, for centuries people have doubted the work of other people who copy paste. But copy pasting requires courage. It requires focus. Anyways, enough yapping. Go over here and change this. So this is going to be select destination image. Destination path will be more accurate actually. We'll just do select source and select destination. How about that? Right. I just took a tiny break. Right. After this, what we need is a big submit button where the user can unmistakably just click the submit button and be assured that his conversion has been successfully made. So for that I'll just make a widget which says convert button, convert or invert image, whatever you want. Let's say invert image, convert button dot pack. We'll do a pad y 10, pad x 10. Then after this we also need to write a command over here. I'm just going to comment it for now because like again we have not written functions yet. So this should have a command. I'll just go ahead and mark. This should have a command. All we need other than this is a simple warning indicator of some sorts. I'll put a label. This is status label because it will tell us like the status कि conversion हुआ है नहीं हुआ है क्या हुआ exactly. The master is going to be root. The text is going to be none. Okay, so no text for now. And status label dot pack obviously. Before we do that, I am going to convert the submit button to a custom TKinter button. This is a CTK button, a custom TKinter button, and these are just normal buttons. So there's a pretty big difference. Now we'll come to the functions that are going to be used, right? Because well, this program will have to be a bit functional as well, right? We can't just make bold claims and just not deliver. First of all, make a list. It's going to be like a list of tuples. So the list of tuples will tell our program what all file types are accepted. I'll just put in the basic image types so that the user can filter now accordingly. This is actually something which matches learnability to function. So we'll call it convert file, and this will basically what this will do. I'll write a comment over here. Now this is where our PIL or pillow is going to come in handy. What we will do is we'll do img equals in a try catch block obviously so that we can do error handling. I have to open the input file path wala image. So we'll do input file. So the reason why we are using convert RGB, this one, is because the colors given need to be interpreted by a some sort of a color model, right? The colors of the image. So we are interpreting them using the RGB color model, and these values will just complement. Unless you're using a washing machine or something for processing this, like this requires very basic CPU power. Okay, so yeah, please don't do this on a washing machine. We'll do output file, and that's it. This is the main function, and using this method, what we are going to do is we'll change the text and the color of the text so that the user can be like notified. This fall under Schneiderman's 8 golden rules, where it offers informative feedback. We'll have to configure the text, so we'll put the text value and we'll say converted successfully. You can put inverted successfully also, and an exclamation mark, and then we'll need to add some color as well. So also fg equals, and in bracket you need to enter the hex value of the color you want. This hex code is on the RGB model. We'll do an except block over here. We'll have to print this exception for our debugging purposes, and we'll have to tell the user as well that something has went wrong. So I'll just paste this line. Something went wrong. Oh man. Obviously I have to change the color from green to red. So for the red color I'm going to use a sort of light. We'll go and define input file which is going to be a string, and an output file which is also going to be a string, because both of them are paths. Also okay, so pill dot, this is working over here and there's no error while making it. Also over here in label frame dot root, I've done fill both in quotation marks. I've given it as a string instead of a constant. Now the next function is going to be to accept the input file. So we'll do select input, and we'll put the input file path as tk.file dialog dot ask open file name. It's going to open a dialog. Okay, file explorer dialog. We'll have to put file type, file, oh sorry, it's plural, the file types, right? tk.file and then if the file type or the in file path input file, right? So we'll have to do in file path, and here will be in file path, right? File dialog is not a attribute of model. TKinter is wrong. That's okay. Just ignore the errors if you can. To write the select output, I'll copy this and just paste it below, because both of these are pretty much the same only, the output and input functions. So I've pasted it over here. We'll just change the names. Oh, also this is supposed to be in file path, my bad. So basically what we want to do here is, if this in file path exists, that is, this returns like a string, then we should like set a value to that given string. Okay, and that's pretty much what we'll be doing here as well. If out file path is this, then we'll do output file path, the dot set out file path, so that our output or destination is also set. So now we've done the input output. Let's just save this and do like a quick demo. So over here we forgot a comma in the select input image, a little silly mistake. Yeah, so the first one is for select source, so we'll uncomment this command over here and we'll bring it back with the others. So this is our function, and please don't give brackets over here. because if you do, then it will mess everything up. It won't work correctly that way. So yeah, we've done command. Now here we'll have to do select output. This function, remove the brackets, and yeah. Now we'll be able to select the files from here. See, there's a flight passengers image which I've downloaded from Wikipedia, and these are our other files. Now over here, what we've done is that we've taken the same string variable for both the images. So over here in output file path, the ctk.entry, the text variable should be output file path. There's also another thing which we need to change. Over here, we've done ask open file name, right? So ask open file name is going to be basically opening a file that already exists, but we have to save the new file. So we'll do ask save as file name. Now what this will do, this will create the new file. Now our submit button will obviously not work because we haven't hooked it up to any command yet. So we'll have to write a function which will call that particular variable. Sorry, not variable, that function which converts. So we'll say def submit image input file equals our string variable, which is input file path, right, dot get. So what dot get does, it will get the current value of your string variable inside the local variable in a string format. We'll do the same thing for the input file. The output file. We'll do output file path dot get. Again, we don't want it to be that the user accidentally hits the submit button but hasn't filled in the paths, right? Hasn't given us the source and destination images. So what we'll do is, if input file is not null and output file is not null, so both should be filled, right? Both should have a value. So if that is true, only and only then we'll call the convert button. Sorry, not the convert function. I forgot the name. We can just go up and say it's convert file. Yeah. So only then we'll call the convert file function. Yeah, there it is. And over here we'll obviously give our parameters. We'll fill them: output file, input file. The function is called, and else. That means that the user has done an error, right? So we need to tell the user. So status label dot config. We'll go to config and text equals, we'll say both input and output paths are required. We'll just say required. Don't need to be grammatically correct in this case. Just need to get the point across as soon as possible, and then we'll give it a color with a yellow because it's a warning. So usually guys, how we do or go about it is, yellow is a warning, green is a positive thing, and red is like a negative thing or an error. You've probably seen it, right? I think there's no need to explain that. I've just selected a decent yellow color over here, so this is the yellow color that I'll be using. So we'll call this function in the command thing over here, equals, and the function which is submit image function. We've written it. We'll just go ahead and check whether the name is right. So submit image. At line 68 over here, the status label thing, this was supposed to be TTK. So the label should be of TKinter, not the TTK submodule of TKinter. Now the few warnings are also gone. We'll do flight passengers webp and we'll do browse. Again, same image. Now we are overwriting it, so the system gives us a warning, which again is basically giving us system feedback where necessary. There's a yes and no, which is allowing us like recovery as well. In this case, it's backward recovery by letting us use the no option. To do this anyways. And invert image. See, we've got a converted successfully message. Yeah, so over here, see, the thing has been inverted. This was the original image, right? So yeah, I hope this was helpful. This pill, inverted thing is a pretty basic functionality only, nothing crazy. But yeah, if you like the video, press like, smash subscribe, and let's go, guys. All the best.